Hey YouTube, just going to do a little bit of a car tutorial in SketchUp. I've done a couple before, but I just got inspired to sort of do another one as I've just been learning different techniques. And so what I'll do, I'll start, it's a bit odd, but I'll start sort of with this car that I've got here, and I'm going to go back and make all these components to show you how it's done. Just probably find it easier that way. So what we'll do, we'll start with the roof. So as you can see here, the roof, it's got this slope here that sort of curves back, and looks pretty cool, and has a bit of an angle for the side. So what I do is, first of all, I'll just start with a rectangle. Just draw something up like this, and get a sort of general shape. So as you can see, I've got some sort of sort of outline shape there. So I just press P for push pull, and I'll push that out. Now what I'll do is I'll double click on that to select that whole face, and I go right click, make group. So what I'll do there is press M to move it out, and I'm just going to press S for scale and scale it much larger. And as I press M for move back again to sort of go back over that to intersect the other faces, I'm going to press M for move and go and move my cursor down to the bottom edge where you can sort of tilt that shape. So I'll tilt it like that, press M again, move it across, and that's going to be the part that I'm going to intersect. So I right click and press explode, and then I triple click on everything. I actually just double click on that face is fine. Right click and then go intersect faces with model. So I just press E to erase all that that stuff out. Just get rid of some of this geometry here, and as you're left with something like that. I forgot at this stage actually that I wanted to make that rounded, but anyway, I can just use this round curves and make that about 200. Alright, that's cool. Okay, so I've got that now. Now what I want to do to sort of, because this is flat, I want to make it a bit more curved like a normal windscreen. I'm just going to press, I'm just going to draw the bit of a rectangle like this. And I'll press A for angle, and I'll just curve it to something like that, erasing out those. And then I'm going to select all this geometry because we're going to use the follow me tool. So just select this stuff like that. And then I'm just going to press F for follow me because that's the shortcut key I've got, and then left click, and it comes out like this. Now that's not looking very good like that, but I'll show you how we can clean that up in 2 secs. So I'm just going to select the whole lot though, and right click and soften all those edges to get rid of all those lines, so that at least that it kind of looks like that. So while we're like this, I'm just going to do some more geometry cleanup. So let's just get rid of some of this stuff. Because I don't like geometry being left behind and all being looking crap underneath. Okay. Right, so all I do here to clean this up is I literally just do this, just get a rectangle and intersect it with the model again. In actual fact, that's not high enough, as you can see there. We need to start a bit higher. So I'm just going to go make that a group and shift that up a little bit. And then I'm just going to go the same thing, but then now going up, something like this. Right click, make a group again, press M for move and move it back over. Now I'm just going to have a look where I want that to go. Probably somewhere like that maybe. So I'm going to get these two here and explode them and then intersect them with the model. And then again it's all bloody geometry cleanup again, which is yeah, story of my life. Okay, just right click, erase. Okay. So I just triple click those to select them all and then just right click erase. Sometimes that's easier to get rid of everything as well. So now that we've got that shape, I can just triple click and go right click make group and right click make component and press M. And I press control, so there's a little plus sign there when you move, and you can just move another version out. Right click and go flip along red axis. Press M and then click it back on there. And let's have a look. Oh, it's not quite there. Let's get, oh, what's going on here? Alright, something like that. Right, now to make the edge, this edge looks a little bit hard, so I want to sort of round it a little bit. I just double click on that group again, or the component to get in there, and I'm going to make a tiny little sort of square here, and just a couple of lines here like this, and we're going to use that follow me tool again. So I've just double clicked to get that edge and deselected these two, and press F and follow me, and then I'll just press the align here and click onto there, and that covers that one nicely. And again, it's just more geometry cleanup inside here. Now there's a pretty cool plugin here that if I select that one there, because it's quite annoying to go and select these to erase them, if I click that, it'll select them all, and then I go right click erase. So it's just a bit of a way to select some geometry to get rid of it. And the same sort of thing here. I mean, I could just press E and then press Control and just highlight down and make these smooth, but like these ones are a bit annoying to get in there, so I'll click on one of them, press that and go right click soften, and that softens all them up. So as you can see, that's pretty much the same stage that the roof is up to there. So that's how you make a top section of the car. Okay, so we've done the roof. Now let's start with this front panel. So what I'll do is, again, we'll just start with doing a rectangle. And I try and get the profile of what I want the side panel to look like. So I'll just press A for angle and make something that's sort of like that. And I take away, really I'm just after that type of curve. I'm just wanting that shape, I guess. So from there, I'll make another rectangle like so. And from here, what I want to do is basically just have it come out a little bit and do another sloping angle down to the front there and erase out this stuff. So we're basically just set with that sort of shape there. Again, just triple click so everything's selected, and then I'll right click make a group so that, you know, it stays in its own little group. And if you select the path that you want this shape to go, you then just press F, follow me, and it's made that sort of front fender shape. Now don't worry about the wheel not being cut out there, because we'll cut that out later, but just to show you for now. So again, let's just clean up this geometry. So get rid of these unwanted bits, and that's how we do that front shape. So So to sort of continue it down the car, what I do is I get, I highlight all of those, and actually one easy way is to just like make a face on the end of that, like that. And you can just press P and press Control, and that will make another section come out, and P and Control again like that. Again, you're just selecting the whole lot, softening those to get rid of all those unwanted lines and just clean up that geometry that you don't actually want. So that's sort of that, you know, this section here. Now to make this nice little back part, the same sort of thing, obviously we're going to use that contour again, but if I just make another rectangle, something like so, and from here I'll make A for angle it up a little bit, sort of bring it over like that, and then possibly down like that or something like that. So we'll erase those out there, and actually what I will do is just make it so that you know, the whole shape is there, so I get this section here. So again, you can either select you select all of these faces here and just press F, and you get that sort of exploded shape, and we'll just smooth that off again and erase all this crap out that we don't want, and blah blah blah, get rid of this shit. And that's that sort of shape there that you can see. So that one was fairly easy, just the whole side of the car wasn't too bad. We'll just cool, we'll just erase that now. We'll move on to the next part. So the next bits that we'll do, I'll just quickly do like the front bumper section, because it's not too hard really. Actually, I'm just going to bring that that side of the panel back. So what I do here is I'll just I go out from oh, where are we? I'm just going to make that face like that, and I'm going to double click on it, press M, press Control, and just move a copy of it out, and erase that. And again, what we'll do is we'll just do like a press L for a line, make it come out like this, give it a bit of a bend here, do something like this just for a bit of shape, and what am I going to do here? Sorry, I'll make that a little bit bigger. Something like that is just what I wanted. Erase out this stuff we don't want. And then again, it's just a matter of, you know, selecting it all in a group. The reason I do that in a group, because it's much easier to move around at a later stage, and I'll show you when we go through building the rest of the car, that to have everything in little groups is, you know, it is a shitload easier. Something like this. So select the path you want to go, and then press F for follow me. Double click it all and soften all the edges. Now this is blue, so I'll just double click the whole lot, right click and go reverse faces, because I like to work with the white face. And you know, there you go. That's how you can see some sort of, you know, front bumper that's happening there. And obviously now with the group, you know, if you want, you can move that right up against that section, or you can move it a little bit away, or do whatever you want with it. So yeah, there we go. Alrighty, so we're on to the part now of doing the wheels and stuff. So the way I normally tackle this kind of thing is, we've got the side view here. What I do is I just start to make like a you know, a circle, and I find the center and push it out, double click, click on that, make this a group. So we end up with something like this. And obviously this is ridiculously large, but let's just press scale and scale it down a bit. Don't worry too much about the thickness at the moment. We're just trying to get like a positioning and stuff. So, well, you know, you sort of position it however you like. It's probably still a little bit too big as well, so we'll just scale it down a bit. Make that a component, because basically you're going to do the same thing at the front. So we'll get these two and we'll move them in like so, something like that. Obviously I'm just, you know, doing it so fast, I'm not really positioning them very well, but you know, on here you can see I spent a bit of time to position them where I want. So once you got your wheels like in roughly the spot that you want, what I then do is I select that face, bring it out a little bit, and I expand it a tiny bit. And then what I do is I press L, and if you follow your little cursor up along that edge, as you bring it down, you'll see it turns pink, and that follows it in the same the same contour as that line there. So I try and do that to make it so it's in that same direction. If I can get this bastard. Sometimes a bit tricky to do. So something like that. I'll erase that out, and then I push that out again, double click on it, make it a group as well. You can make as many groups inside a group as you like. So I sort of make that overlap where the wheels are, just to give you again an idea of where the wheel's going to sit in terms of the arch that you're going to make. So let's just get that and bring it slightly out a bit so it just is there. Yep, that's cool. Yeah, so that's what I do there, like that. Once you're sort of happy with that part, what I'll do now is I'll switch back to this like main model now. We can just start working from the main model because we've pretty much caught up to where I wanted to get everyone up to. So let's just erase that whole thing. See you later, and we'll start working from the main model. So as you can see, I've already done the front, right? And if we view the hidden geometry here, you can see this all looks quite nice, but there's a couple of bits that don't look so good, and that's what happens when you intersect. As we go along here, and I'll show you, you'll see that you intersect at the wrong sort of spots, and I make an effort to go back and fix it just so that it actually looks like reasonable after the fact. So let's just cruise along with this one and get it happening. So what we'll do is I'll cut that group out, and I'll go inside here and go edit paste in place just so that we're in the same group. And this one here is the rear sort of bumper section. I'm actually going to explode that because I want this to intersect with those two as well anyway. So what we will do is, yeah, we'll leave it like this, that's cool. So what we'll do now is we'll explode that, and we'll select those faces, and we'll go right click, intersect face with selection. Now what I'll do is, just to get, I'm gonna make this go over like that. I'm gonna just follow that with itself down here. And what should I do here? I might, let's have a look. I might just get that one and meet it. Oh, what is it doing? Alright. Sometimes it doesn't do exactly what you want, so you have to sort of persist with it. But anyway, so the reason I've done that is so that when I double click and go right click erase, you know, it keeps most of that structure there. So now I can just left click on that and go right click erase, and I've gone and erased you know, a decent chunk there that we need to do. Again, it's just a matter of cleaning up this junk that we don't want. Now, what do we do here? Yep. So what I was going to say before, if we have a look here again, you know, you can leave it like this. There's no problem leaving it like that, but I don't know. Just to me, it looks a bit shitty. So what I tend to do is like do a technique like this, where I erase out all the parts that intersect this main line, and I just connect it back up, and then I start to join the these up again. So it kind of just makes it you know, a little bit cleaner as you're doing other operations on the model. It might be a little bit hard to explain the purpose why at the moment, but you'll see as we progress along in time. Don't worry too much about this at the moment. We'll go back and fix it all up later. So, you know, it's a tedious part. You're just sort of going like this, erasing everything out and making sure that these are all nice uniform lines. That one actually was fine, but anyway. Alright, so we'll just add some of this stuff back in. Keep going. So it's pretty tedious work doing this part. I'd probably say, unfortunately, a lot of SketchUp is, you know, tedious things like this. You probably don't encounter this kind of dramas with other modeling tools, but you know, it is what it is. It's quick to learn. It's you know, easy to do. It's just that it's you know, for something like you know, maybe for a professional it's unacceptable, but for, you know, for hobby people like ourselves, you know, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really take that long. So keep going, keep going. Okay. Ah, bloody hell, how much longer? Oh shit. What's this bit here? So you can see here, sometimes you've got to be really careful with bloody geometry, because sometimes you have some that are that close together that they don't quite, you know, they are separate. So you've got to watch yourself, because sometimes when you go to join some dots together, you won't get a face that forms. So again, it's just another quirk of SketchUp, but you know, shit happens. So just keep going. We're almost bloody there. I'll just get that bit there and to there. Do this bit here. Do this bit here. Okay, now. Oh, that's right, we've sort of had a bit of a weird issue happen here, but we'll tackle that in 2 secs. So all I do now is I select all, oh, actually you can go right click and say orient faces, and is that going to fix most of the stuff up? It probably is. Excellent. And then it's a matter of pressing E for erase and holding the control key and just going on all of those lines that you've just done there to make them all you know, invisible and smooth like the rest of the model. So as you can see now, where are we? you know, this all looks nice and smooth and even, and then when we make this disappear, you know, those joining parts, they all look pretty good. They all look uniform. So this bit here, we've kind of had some sort of issue that we've had stuff up there, so I'm just going to right click, erase, and clean this up. And I wonder if we can just join this. Boom, there we go. Alright. So again, we'll just try and clean this crap up because it's probably got a few bits that we don't want. So we'll just go like that. Back there again, something like this. I think that looks good. Get rid of those. Save. And that's it. That's how we do those parts. Well, that was shit. The stupid recording program I used didn't record this video right when I did these windows, so I guess I'm going to have to do the back to and show you. Alright, so let's just press on then. So I'll just press L and do a bit of a line like that. Go into the back of this. Alright, now let's have a look here. So, alright. So that was wrong. See, I didn't put it against the actual face then, so that was bad. So I'll click on the bit where it intersects. And I'll go back up here. Something like that. And back down there. So you get the idea. Something like that. Now what I'll do, I'm just going to put a line across here, like it's probably not gonna really matter too much, but I just want to do that so I can press O for outline, just bring that in a little bit, something like that, and then I'm going to erase that anyway. So here all I'm going to do is just A for angle. I'm just going to oops, angle these in. Just for aesthetics. So once it's like that, I'll press P for push-pull, push it in about there, double click on it, scale, and sort of, whoops, that's too much, maybe about that, and then I'm going to press O again and just bring it in a little bit there for the, come on you bastard, for the rubbers. Cool. So just E again, clean up this stuff, make that disappear. Cool. Alright, so there's the other window. So now doing the back, what you do is like an intersect type thing where I'll make it like a little a rectangle, make it a group, move it over towards the middle here. Oh, it's a pain in the ass, this thing. Yep. Alright, so S for scale, just scale it in a little bit and scale it out this way, and you're basically just trying to move it into a spot where you you know, you'd like it to be. So I'll double click, go into the group, scale it, and sort of move it out like that so it's gets a bit closer to the contour of this section of the roof. So that'll sort of do anyway, but it's not too bad. So that's probably a little bit tall. We'll just make it a bit shorter. And these edges I'm going to round, so I'll just select those there and do my round curves, and I might make it a little bit more, say 250 and something like that. So now that you've got that in place, you can click on the roof, click the same group, right click and go intersect faces with selection, and then you can just go and erase that whole group. So there's our light back window. Now at this stage I might like clean up this geometry again, because I don't like how it's close to this, so I'm just going to erase that part and join it up like that, so it's just a bit neater. This one here I might just make one, And this part here, I might make that just a bit simpler there. Same thing. Now here, what can we do here? I might actually bring it in something like this, and up to there, and let's just get rid of this stuff. A bit there. I might actually just get rid of all that and just make that go straight across. So I'll just redraw these lines again. So it looks like that, I guess. That bit looks a bit shitty really, but we'll just trying to think what we can do to fix that. Yeah, that's not too bad. That'll do. Alright. So at this stage, I normally double click on that and make that a group. And I normally just like make it like scale in like the tiniest bit. And I'll scale it down a little bit. You know, you're thinking, oh, why have you got a gap there? But what I generally do is something like this. So I press L. And I will just make like a little trim surround or something like that. So just make a little trim surround thing like that. So then I'll try and select all the faces around the outside again, and we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully it turns out alright. And there we go. And then we'll just press F, and the bastard was a pain in the ass, so we'll do it the other way. We'll just press F and we'll just follow it around ourselves, because sometimes it gets a bit upset when you have something too complicated to follow for a path. So we'll just do it ourselves. Cruise on up here, cruise on over, and try and get it to go in there. So that looks pretty crap there, so we'll just do a little straight across join. And I'll just erase those ones out, or with the control key, so it joins in the middle there. And there we go. So yeah, obviously these parts here will need to just smoothen out with the erase tool. Something like that. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, this looks pretty average, but you get the idea. You know what I'm like trying to do anyway here. So obviously if you take your time you'll make a better shape or whatever, but I'm just trying to show you the techniques that I use to tackle things like that. So yeah, at that distance it doesn't look too bad. So yeah, that's the windows and stuff, I guess. Cool.